Welcome back to my channel, guys. Down the rabbit hole news. I'm the rabbit. All right, we're gonna get started. I know I'm a little late. I had to get some stuff ready. I still gotta run upstairs and get this, some caffeine into, my veins. I gotta get some caffeine because I'm still not all the way awake and there's just so much going on. And I'm catching up to comments and emails and reading different things. So shout out to everybody that's coming in. And let me go ahead and hit this intro. Here we go. Welcome back, guys. All right, we're gonna get started right away. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me make sure I greet everybody, but I also have to get this other window here open on my chat. But let me say hello and good morning and good afternoon to everyone. We have my member Peekaboo, Jen, Gumby, Chico. Shout out to you, generally Jenny. Do the right thing, Brianne. All right, you guys, make sure you hit that like button. Nicole Bryant. Let's see who else. Bright Art, I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. Excuse me, I'm trying to clear my throat. I should probably have done that before. Um, welcome, guys. We have Miss Leslie in the house as well. Let's see who else do we have in here. Shout out to you. We have two Leslies, Leslie Beam and Leslie. Is it Cabell? Have a wonderful day, my love. Make sure as you're coming in, you drop where you're from, what state, what is your flag, what side of the world you're visiting us from. I would love to hear that in the chat. Welcome, Pokey Dots. Welcome, Victorious. April from the Facebook. Shout out to everybody from the Facebook. Make sure you hit the like button on the Facebook. Hey, Darlene, welcome. Welcome. Hey, Lana. All right. Excuse me. Rocking with the truth. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, everybody from Delaware. As you're coming in, look at this Iowa, Wisconsin. Hey, Micah, New Jersey. Shout out to everybody from New Jersey. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, Idaho. Ooh, I bet a lot is happening in Idaho right now, huh? Welcome, Paused in Claws, Alabama. Awesome. Let's see who else. Virginia in the house. And I'm checking my secondary device. Make sure we got everything going over there. Cali. I bet it's nice and warm in Cali right now. Shout out to everybody from Cali, Minnesota, the Boonies. Boonies, Minnesota. I'm driving too. Well, you guys be very careful. You do not have to chat and drive. Please don't do that. It's not worth it whatsoever. You can always catch the replay. When nature calls. One. Love your name, by the way. Shout out to you. She said lots of rain. There's lots of rain. Tennessee. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Chico. Shout out to everybody from Tennessee. Rhode Island. I really like your name. When nature calls 1. That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Okay, as you guys are coming in, please hit the like button. Why don't we have so far 45 people in the building? It's been a little bit of a crazy morning for me. Make sure that you hit the like button while you're coming in and let me know anything else that might be popping out there because we got a lot of stuff to cover here as well. Our like goal, I think, should be maybe 250. That's kind of where I'm seeing it at. Um, I saw, shout out to everybody who retweeted to Nancy. People were making fun of Nancy Grace yesterday because they said that she looked like she was like at like a lemonade stand. You know how she had her little white table. She was in front of the Idaho 4, murder scene. I'm like, it looked a little tacky to me, but hey, who am I? I'm not the PR for Nancy Grace. She got a lot of people who could do that for her. It did look a little weird to be like behind that house, just the way it was. And then you could see the black ice in the driveway. It was really cold, right? Hey, blank screen, welcome. It was a little, like, weird, just my opinion. It was weird. Thank you so much. Oh, you're number 28. Shout out to Tanya. She's like, "I'm number 28 hitting the like button." You guys hit the like button. Thank you. All right, let's watch this little hearing today. So the preliminary hearing on uh, Bryan Kohberger is set for June 26th in Idaho. Okay. Now, one thing that was very interesting that I was watching the Glare. I was at the Glare's house, and not literally, but at his channel. And I noticed, and I posted this on my community tab. The man's got scratches over here, pretty deep scratches on his face. He didn't have those before. Now I heard, okay, we've been hearing that that he's been getting into like scuffles with people in the jail. Like he's having a really hard time in there. Look at my face as I say that. You look like you're having a really hard time in the orange jumpsuit, my love. Hmm. 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 It does seem like a lifetime away. They're gonna keep pushing. They're gonna keep pushing. Skies are pink. It's not a green screen, I promise you that. She posted a bunch of other pictures in there, girl. She was out there sightseeing, Nancy Grace. She was. Hey Peekaboo, she says I'm multitasking, but I have you in my TV while I'm cleaning. No worries. Clean away. Hey there, Jens. Welcome. He's in the general population. Yes, I believe so. As he should be. As he should be. But he's having a hard time, guys. He's having I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, let's see how this case is gonna play out, guys. Let's see how this I'm not hearing you. You're not here. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. Drop a rabbit on the chat if you guys have a hard time hearing. Let me know. He deserves to have hard time. Gumby, I don't know if you're joking, but let me know. All right, so let's go ahead and play this and get to stepping because we got some stuff to talk about and address as it pertains to Shanquella Robinson. We're gonna hit the ground running right away, but let me go ahead. You can hear me just fine. Thank you, Lana. You hear me. All right, everybody hears me. Shout out to Chico. You hear me. All right. The volume's good. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. It's like silent. And there you go. There we go. There we go. I was trying to see if I can see his face. So when they zoom in, you could see the scratches. Daisy's like,
Right,
well,
good
it's
morning.
not
We
so
are on
good
the
to
record.
vote. Then I would hope not.
This is cause number CR 29222805. This is State of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger. Mr. Kohberger is in custody. He is appearing here in court with his attorneys, Ms. Taylor and Mr. Logston. Mr. Thompson, Ms. Jennings appearing on behalf of the state. This is the time set in the matter for the preliminary hearing status conference. So I am going to inquire of counsel. Ms. Taylor, what's the status at this time?
Thank you, Your Honor. We are going to ask the court to set preliminary hearing out into June. We would request the 3rd or 4th week of June and probably 4 or 5 days for preliminary hearing. Mr. Kohberger understands his right to a timely preliminary hearing, and he's willing to waive the timeliness to allow us time to obtain discovery in this case and be prepared.
And Mr. Thompson, are you in agreement with that?
The state has no objection to that, Your Honor. Ms. Taylor reached out to us by email yesterday with her proposal. On reflection, the state's calendar would be better in the month of July, but we will make the end of June work if that's the board's preference. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Ms. Taylor about that. I'm sorry, I know that's last minute.
That's okay. The court's calendar is going to be better towards the end of June, early July. So would that work, Ms. Taylor, for your scheduling on your other matters?
Your Honor, yes, if we take that fourth week in June, that's actually best.
Okay. So, Mr. Kohberger, I need to speak to you for a moment then. Sir, you do understand, and Ms. Taylor has represented here, that she's advised you of your right to have, or fully discussed with you, the right that you have, which is to have your preliminary hearing within 14 days of the date that you initially appeared before this court. As you recall, when I advised you of your rights, that hearing is a probable cause hearing where the state has to establish that more likely than not, these felony offenses were committed and you were the one that committed the felony offenses. If you waive your right to a speedy preliminary hearing, it does not mean that you're giving up your right to have a preliminary hearing. It simply means that you would not be able to come back and challenge that the state did not present probable cause within 14 days. Do you understand?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with Ms. Taylor about your decision to waive your right to a speedy preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Do you need any additional time to do so?
No.
Then I will ask at this time, as to the 5 counts, felony counts that were charged in the criminal complaint that was filed on December 29th of 2022, are you waiving your right to a speedy preliminary hearing and agreeing that that hearing can be held outside the 14-day period?
Yes.
And Ms. Taylor, do you concur with his waiver?
I do, Your Honor, thank you.
I will find your waiver of speedy preliminary hearing is knowing, intelligently, voluntarily entered here in open court with the assistance of counsel. We will go ahead and set the matter for a preliminary hearing.
Yeah, 5 months out is a long time. Lana, you're right. Those scratches weren't there. Those scratches weren't there. That's new. I don't know if they would have
Monday,
allowed him to shave.
June 26th at 9:00 a.m. And I will go ahead and reserve the week, so June 26th to June 30th, in the event that we need all 5 days for presentation of evidence. And just so council knows, it will begin at 9 a.m. each of those days. Is there anything further to address at this time in the case, Mr. Thompson
Not from the state perspective, Your Honor.
or Ms. Taylor?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Kohberger, then you will be remanded into custody on your same no bail at this point in time, pending further proceedings. Again, we'll send notice out to council and we will be in recess for this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How old? Can somebody tell me? Because I didn't capture this. How old is Bryan Kohberger? Somebody said that they require shaving and haircuts to reduce lice. Probably likely so, but I'm just kind of wondering, do you see how deep it is? Like those are, and it's not just one, it's 2 of them. There was one over here, like by his chin, like real deep in his chin, and then one over here by the cheek area. Yeah, he's 28. I think he's 28. Okay. So I'm just wondering, like some of you guys have said it could be, I'm thinking razor burn. He might have cut it. They would allow him to shave for court for sure, monitor. But I'm like, if you've been shaving for a long time, age 28, facial hair, you would, unless it's the type of razor that they're using that they're prone to cut. I mean, that could very well be like the cheap ones. Yeah. Like they give them cheap razors, excuse me, and then they're able to cut fairly quickly. That could very well be the case, right? So keeping that in mind, it's a protocol to keep someone like him on suicide watch 20. It just depends. We don't even know if he is on suicide watch. We don't, I mean, that's not anything that's been released to us or anything. Cheapest racers ever with one bleed, probably. Hey, Shelly, late from Slick, Utah. Shout out to everybody from Salt Lake City, Utah. I know Slick. I used to live there as well. Chell Bell, shout out to you. Somebody said it's because of the blade. Wait, do they give them razors? Because it reduces lice. Yes, a lot of people were saying that. Dots that they do. So heads up. I mean, we're gonna have to wait another 5 or 6 months. 5 or 6 months. They need time. They need time. Okay. We're gonna move into this whole Shanquella thing. All right. Now, I want you guys to notice something that I did, and I'm gonna dedicate a good 30 so minutes to this subject because it definitely needs it. Hey, just the tea, please. Welcome. I put the link in the chat. It's actually pinned up there, right? Because I had some visitors come over to my comments, and I am not like, having visitors as far as people with opposing views is totally okay. I welcome people that have an opposing view. But somebody left some of these comments in my recent interview with Attorney Dimitri. All right. And somebody by the name of Popazuda71. All right. And if you're listening, Popazuda or whatever your username is, they're saying this is what they asked. And this is pertaining to Shanquella. Why is nobody questioning the validity of the autopsy? Broken necks happen as a result of car accidents, falls from windows. She was clearly moving at the end of the video. I didn't respond to that comment. Somebody else did, and I don't want to assume either because a comment is a comment. There's so much, somebody can create a username and everything, and I don't necessarily know if this was family or anything like that. But somebody responded who said by the name of Gera, Geralinda, Geralinda Bernard, 1425. Your sister is guilty and she's going to prison. This is what the person said. They further added to the comment, for you stuffed minded, let's talk. Was it okay to visually attack Quella? Was it okay for the other demented ones to stand by and not stop it? Was it okay to record it and FaceTime the attacker? Was it okay for them to leave her and went back to US? Was it okay to lie to the family? Was it okay not to stay in hiding? Is it okay not to go to the authorities and give account? Is it okay if it is okay not to acknowledge that Quella is no more with us because of that? And I came in the comments, okay, after I saw this little action back and forth, and I said, hello, is Popa Zuda 71 a relative of the Cabo 6? Okay. And they responded, they meaning the person, Geralda Bernard says, it's Winter Donovan's relative. Now, I don't know how you can tell that. This is why I was kind of in the fence. I'm like, how do you know that by somebody's comment? Unless they've been tracking these comments, and unless they know the account, I really don't know. So, I said, okay, we're going to call this out. I know the Cabo 6 have been trolling. Yes, I know you guys have been trolling. You can contact me directly, and I gave them my email. And then Geralda Bernard responded and said, and also, were you there when Quella was moved? Explain moving. And then it keeps going. Geralda Bernard says, come, let's talk since you've been going to all the bloggers and made the same comments. I dare you to speak up and answer our questions. 100. And then I said, I'll be speaking to bring some awareness. And then finally, Popa Zuda responds. Okay? Popa Zuda responds and says, at the end of the video, she was sitting up with her hands in her hair. Paralysis usually makes the body go completely limp. Her arm and core muscles were obviously still functioning at the time. Could something more traumatic have taken place after the video? Yes, but we haven't seen it. I understand the emotions involved in this case, so I'm not even going to address most of these comments and accusations. Okay. It's very strange why this case hasn't moved forward. The assault was horrible, coupled with the fact that everyone let it take place. The intentions of those in the rooms were definitely shady, since they had no problem filming her naked. And it's crazy that none of the six have broken by now, especially out of self preservation. The truth is, in whatever happened after that video stopped, to break human bones takes more than muscle. You need to employ leverage created by the entire body or core. Is it possible that the hair pull could have acted as a lever and created enough rate of force to sever the spinal cord? It's plausible. I'm just looking at this from all possibles. And then I said to Papozuda, what autopsy report are you referencing to? A death certificate is not an autopsy report. And then Geralda Bernard chimes in and says, Cabo 6 were shady? Shady? And Papazuda says, so who determined that she had a broken neck? Okay, but and I go back, please answer my question. What autopsy report have we seen? So, and I said, listen, instead of entertaining this BS back and forth in comments, because, easily, right? Like we can just have a conversation, we could talk a little bit about it, right? And then you have other people, okay, in here that are also chiming in, and I'm cool with it. Like, I get it. People have questions, but what autopsy report have we seen? How do you start an argument all the way from the beginning? Why is nobody questioning the validity of the autopsy report when we don't have an autopsy report, my friends? We don't have an autopsy report, my friend. Yeah, child, you know what? Let me tell you something. That specific blogger, and please don't drop any names here. Don't put her first name, don't put her disease name, don't put any type of name in this because that lady right there functions on misinformation. I would not, and now I'm going to speculate, and this is complete, in my opinion, speculation. I would not be surprised if she went from justice for the Cabo Six, or excuse me, justice for Shanquella to now they're framing the Cabo Six. How you determine that based on the fact that somebody said, and it's funny because they're using the same verbiage that the other person was using. Well, her neck could have been broken from a car accident. A car accident that happened years ago. We don't know anything. And we don't none of this bullshit from the past plays present to what happened. Why is she not here? And why do they misinform the family about how she died? That's what I want to know. Yes, they're saying that the Cabo Six have been framed. But you know what? People will do anything for clicks and views. And clearly, that's what this is about. This is the only thing, as far as anything close to anything. This is a death certificate. We don't have an autopsy report. Do not confuse the two. You have an autopsy report, then you have a death certificate. Yeah, right, because people walk around with broken bones on their neck and you're not going to know it. Like you're not going to know that it's a broken bone. I put the link in the chat because I was like, all right, so clearly these people that are in defense of the Cabo Six are watching. The link is in the chat. Now you can save all that for the comments. That's absolutely fine. But help us understand here why we should see shit in a different light. You're seeing, I mean, we're seeing things in all angles as well. Imagine this is the desert. There is no autopsy report. Don't start an argument with, how do we know the autopsy report is valid? How do you? We haven't even read it. I can't even say that or answer that. We don't know anything. But people will sign up for whatever is more salacious. They're coming for the family. They're discrediting the family. The sister must be evil. The mother must be evil. This was all a ploy. This was all, just stuff after stuff. And none of it makes sense. So there's the link. I'm waiting for somebody ballsy to say something. We had that one troll earlier who said something defending them. I said, all right, cool. Explain away. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I should consider at this point. The Cabo Six have been framed. That's what the narrative is now. The people that scream justice for Shanquella, that were able to get their coins initially, because this is true advocacy. This is what happens. The story kind of goes down, it hits the media, and then you slowly, bloggers start kind of like losing interest, and then they move on. Then you have the solid bloggers that will stick through it, whether it's however many views it is now that it was 3 weeks ago or a month ago. I mean, folks are so ballsy in the comments. Yo, I am willing to entertain something that maybe I don't know. And trust me, I'm the most reasonable rabbit there is out there. I really am. I'm a really reasonable person. I'm really willing to hear both sides of every coin, but I'm having a hard time with this one, especially when you're coming in here and I'm just thinking in my mind, well, then who are you? Why? And the intent coming as a blogger, right, initially was justice for Shanquella. It kind of makes you wonder, ooh, the tone has changed. Let's talk. Geralda Bernard, I see you in the comments. Are you with the family? I don't want to assume. I'm dropping the link if you got something to say. Um, you could definitely hit it. Because I saw you, my love, in the comments. I saw you go hard. I'd like to understand. Um, I'm not here to bash any victims. I'm definitely here. I think that there's more to the story. Definitely. Shelly says you have such an ASMR voice. Only when I'm nice. Only when I'm nice. Um, but these people have come up with such a idea of what happened with Shanquella. She had an accident. Okay, not only this, her PPP loans are an issue. The family's PPP loans were an issue. Then none of this shit makes any sense whatsoever. So please let me know. I dropped a link there. Geralda, you're more than welcome to come up if you are family or have some take to the situation. I dropped a link there for you. No, I did not receive your email. Infamous. Yeah, God doesn't like ugly. People get really froggy in these comments, but they don't ever want to hit the link. Do tell. People get really hyphy in the comments, but they don't ever want to hit the link. They don't ever want to hit a conversation. They don't ever want to talk about it. We're not running errands already of who I am in my response to him. I answered already of who I am in my response to it. I didn't see that. Maybe I missed it. I'm sorry. But let me check. If this person is willing to come up, I'm just saying, and I know you're watching, Popozuda 71. They don't answer any questions. They don't say anything. And I said, just please answer my question. And he said, well, who determined she had a broken neck? Answer my question. Don't answer a question with the question. Just answer the question. That's the bullshit that just gets to me. That's not a conversation. It's not. It's annoying. And I'm willing to hear all sides of a coin. But beyond that, they have bashed the family so much. They certainly have, for no reason. So I honestly feel, because here's the deal with YouTube. It's unfortunate. There is no best practices on YouTube, right? You have YouTubers that either have a conscious morality and they think about stuff before they go about it, right? And then you have YouTubers that don't. Um, I don't understand. And so they will take whatever angle. If I were to put a thumbnail and say, I am defending the Cabo Six, here is why, you better believe that's probably going to get me a lot of views. They framed the Cabo Six. This is why. you better believe that that is going to get me a lot of views because I know how YouTube works. They're always looking to, it's always saying the opposite of what seems to be morally there that will get you the views. It's always then, it's always for views. Don't get it twisted. Okay. A lot, I mean, this is a coin. We talk, we do, some of us are, we have a skill set that we bring here and we're able to talk about that, right? And we're able to apply it to some of this. But some people just lie, lie, complete lie. And if you look at, strategically look at the way in which those videos are delivered, okay? And the way in which they use defamation of other people's characters, myself included, everyone else. They go after bloggers that they feel like they're in competition with. And what they will do is they will dox those bloggers. Okay. And then later, when they get in trouble, they cry wolf or they're a fucking crybaby. They don't even know what's coming to them. They will cry. That's just how it is. And they come out here and they make themselves a victim of the situation. Or they say, let me tell you, didn't I tell you guys this? Now this is getting to me. The link is in the chat if you guys want to come up. They will say this. I feel like I'm like Shanquella. How many bloggers did I not hear on YouTube when what happened with Shanquella happened, when the story broke? They compare themselves to Shanquella. They compare their own victim or alleged victim story to Shanquella. I feel like I'm kind of like Shanquella because this happened to me. You were murdered by your friends in Cabo? That's what happened to you? Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. Um, so which one is it? I feel like I'm Shanquella because, I had friends that were kind of like Shanquella's friends. And, when you have friends like this, who needs enemies? Thank you, Shelly. How many of you guys forgot to hit the like button? Who needs enemies? And then later they turn, and then they turn not only on the family, on Shanquella. Oh, she got a BBL. Look at her body. But there isn't, Dee. Don't you? Here's the deal: is if you step back, what was the other blogger that did the thumbnails, completely changing not only Shanquella's facial features, the color of her skin. There's some bloggers that are making her look more orange when she's a beautiful black woman. Okay, she was a beautiful black woman. So I don't understand why that, but it's anything, whether it's the detail of the thumbnail, the salaciousness of a title, anything will bring you a coin. Anything. It will. Because that's just how it is. There's another blogger yesterday, and I was on their chat. I think his name is Shank Rock. Shout out to him. He was pointing out a lot of this stuff, like, yo, like the attacks of the family is pretty bad. A lot. I mean, I think he actually went out there to the balloon release and met Quilla Long, okay, the sister, and shout out to her. Um, and met her, and said, yo, this sister's not evil. Like, everybody has a different way of grieving. Everybody does. And grief is so different amongst people's cultures. You know what I'm saying? Religious beliefs, the way in which I might grieve a little bit different. Everybody grieves different. And people want to pay attention to the GoFundMe. Why? Do we not know that people travel? Like, this is going to require travel. This is going to require attorneys. We don't know what all of that's going to cost to bring justice. Sometimes I feel like we as a society, are we have to be very careful how we say things and how we do things. But please note that YouTube is a cesspool when it comes to this. All right. And people will make what it makes. It's a money game here. Okay. Some people are just very overt about it. They will twist the narrative of a story to try to to try to get the clicks and views, because that's just how it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. And shout out to you. Everybody, we need to respect each other when we're grieving. It doesn't, and sometimes it's like, well, she's over here in the gym working out. She's got new teeth. I don't know anything about the family. I don't. I don't. I don't know. I don't know anything. I know what's right now is that there's a video out there where we all saw, everyone here saw a woman was murdered. Okay. A woman was not able to fight back. She was naked in the video. Okay. That's what I know. We got this death certificate. They went back to the US and gave the family a different reason as to how she died. Completely. Completely gave a different reason. Alcohol poisoning. The family receives the death certificate. We don't know anything about an autopsy report. An autopsy report is not a death certificate, and people are combining those two. Please get it together before. Please. And then people started pulling backgrounds on the family. And so then, oh, Brienne, I just saw a comment. Did you just time this person out? Somebody by the name of Fame. Let me tell you. Let me see if I can, because this is the kind of trolling that I'm talking about. Look, read this and read the. I'm gonna read it to you guys. This is what they said. They said this is what the troll said. They parade and party dance in New Orleans or New Orleans. Black folks, they need to stop. It's a race comments about black people. Yes. No, I hear you, my love. I would have blocked it too, but I want people to hear the kind of trolling that I'm seeing here as well. Uh, this is what the Fame comment said. They parade and party dance in New Orleans. Black folks, they need to stop. Wow. The entire world has been spoken. I think it's way past due for Cabo 6 to step up, right? It is horrible. Violetta. I hear you, Brienne. I hear you. So this is the kind of stuff that happens. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I'm looking at this comments. People love taking the contrarian positions. Yeah. And generally, Jenny, that is such a good comment to point out, because what happens is, you know, I think a lot of us, we just have a lot of questions, right? Let's play a little devil's advocate for a little bit. It is okay. I have a lot of questions. I don't know who was in the room. I don't, we don't know things to be fact. We're waiting for these 6 individuals to speak up, okay? We have been led astray in several things that have been said. I want to point another thing out, right? Did you guys remember um, a couple weeks back when it was said that Dejanay had been detained by Interpol, arrested, that she was in her home, okay, or in another relative's home, and now the narrative is changed to something else, that nobody has been arrested. We have been led astray, right, by so many things, whether it's social media or other factors. We have been led astray. So I'm willing to hear if some of these Cabo 6 have something, like somebody needs to speak up. But remember what Attorney Dimitri said. They probably already have attorneys, and their attorneys probably recommended for them not to speak. This is an extradition. The question that I asked Attorney Dimitri, I said, okay, let's just pretend that I'm the one that's being extradited. What should I expect? What should I do? Get an attorney, and then we'll go from there. Expect this to happen. Leslie says, remember when Winter said it was alcohol poisoning? I had Googled that up and it says a woman that drinks for 2 hours and a man that drinks for 3 hours, becomes alcohol poisoning. Girl, I don't, you know, but it wasn't the cause of death. That wasn't it. Then people try to fix this narrative. It's because she had a car accident. And so then for the past, her car accident was what, 2, 3 years ago. So she was walking around vacationing in Mexico with a neck injury. None of this shit makes sense. None of it. And it warrants the family being doxxed. It warrants Shanquella being doxxed, right? If I were to dox your mother up in here or anybody else, it would be horrible. I wouldn't do that. But it warrants. It warrants it, right? I have a channel and I moderate for, and last night they possibly might have the U.S. Marshals actively looking for them, but they're not going to tell us because they want to keep it. I don't know. Let me tell you something, infamous truth. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't like, especially in things like this, we cannot speculate anymore. Here is the death certificate. This is the only document outside of the police report, which even the police report itself, guys, I got the police report as a blogger. Okay. It was a police report that it was a copied and paste version on a WhatsApp app. That's what it was. There was nothing official. And I had said it before. I said, now how do we get something more official? And we can't. So Gerardo had something leak to him. I have a feeling that, and this is what I've said it before, I feel like there's some truths, but there's some misinformation in there. And I'm not a journalist, okay? I didn't go for school to journalism. I'm a blogger, right? So I will make mistakes and I'll correct them and I do what I have to do. But I feel like um, we need to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just spew a bunch of information when a lot of people were confused. There's an arrest. There's no arrest. There might be an arrest. There is no detainment. There was a detainment. This back and forth shit is too much. And it's so discouraging. Just imagine. And then you have these photos leaked. No, I know you didn't mean any disrespect. I don't know what I think. I just think that I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. I treat things, even what is said from the Mexican reporter, very lightly at this point. That's why I haven't really gone in as hard. What I do know is that we want to bring justice for Shanquella. Only they really know. But I want you to think about it this way, like they left her there. Even if it was alcohol involved, why ain't they being charged with assault as a minimum? Then it's a lot. It's a lot. We don't know. And what did Attorney Dimitri say when we interviewed him? He said, they're very tight-lipped. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to say anything. They're going to keep quiet because that's what they do. That's what attorneys, that's what they do, agencies. What happened with the Idaho 4? There's a lot of stuff that we didn't know that was later released. No, so now you don't believe Zuniga? I said, Liz, and those that have been here, I said, I don't know if everything that he is given as far as information is accurate. That's what I said. It's not that I don't believe him. I just feel like we need to, not every inside source has been accurate. It was said that Dejanay was arrested and she had been extradited to Mexico. Liz, do you not remember that? Has that happened? Because he didn't address it anymore. What's the deal? He needs to figure that out. And I told him that too. I've said it in lives times and times again. That's absolutely correct. And don't forget who put that out there. Danny Robertson put that out there first. There's another blogger, the same blogger that's looking how to reach, clicks and views by attacking the family is now trying to take that information as well. You know what I'm saying? So this is just weird. It's weird. Um, Absolutely. I agree. I'm looking at these comments. First, they said that she recorded Malik Dyer and Khalil Cook messing around. Then she set Jackson's cousin up. Now she's a drug dealer. Oh, Lord, Leslie. First, she said she recorded Malik Dyer and Khalil Cook messing around. Are you like messing around as in like a sexual relationship, Miss Leslie? And then she set Jackson's cousin up. Now she's a drug dealer. Now she's an FBI agent. Now she has an FBI agent for PPP loan scam. Now it's a set. Lord, I can't. I can't. I can't. You work with Suniga, so you know what he said. That's great. Liz, that's great. I'm glad that you work with him. Are you the one doing the translating? Uh, That's great. I have his number too. I'm sure I can contact him as well. I know what he said too, because he gave me the information. We talked about it. He said that Dejanay Jackson had been arrested. Do we not remember that? And now he's saying that they're still looking for has she been arrested or not? That's the information that we needed to correct, my love. That's great that you work with him. I've had contact with him too. I have no problem with that. And if he wants to correct the information, I have no problem having him come to my channel so he can correct it. I let that be known. If you know what he said, then you know that he said that Dejanay had been arrested. Can we correct that information? Yeah, capitalizing on the demented. No, I am not the translator. That is another member of the team. Okay. All right. So that's fine. Hyatt no longer employed at Laura One Medical. That's absolutely right, Zen. There's another blogger that's in North Carolina. I watched a live earlier. Someone reacted to. He said that Quella paid for 2 spots because some people blacked out and there were some attitudes because she requested the biggest room. MP, what do you mean? There's 2 bloggers that's in North Carolina? 2 spots for what, my love? Can you explain for me? Leslie says that they claim that she recorded Malik Dyer and Khalil Cook smashing each other. Are you serious? And they wanted her to be deleted. That excessive. See how much I don't watch. I didn't know that that's what was said. That's crazy. The lies, the lies. Michelle Diaz says, did he redact? Yeah, Liz, I think that is the biggest question if you're still in the chat, Liz. Michelle Diaz, and that's what we wanted to know. Did he redact the information or did he just act like that it was gone? And that was the one thing we had told him. There's probably information that I don't know that he might have. I definitely believe that he has some insider knowledge. I just don't know if all the insider knowledge is accurate. And I've said that time and time again because of the fact that he said that Dejanay Jackson was arrested and that she was held by Interpol. Guys, myself, Sean Davy Way, so many other bloggers went live and talk about that. We did. We did. I mean, what do you I know if you're working for his team, I guess do you want to speak? Can you speak on behalf of his team? Has he redacted that information? Has he decided to change that information? I'm gonna drop the link if you want to come up and speak for him, since you're working for that. And no disrespect, he has not redacted. So, but he recently went live and said that the Cabo 6 haven't been arrested or detained. Yeah, Tanya, do me a favor. Please don't drop any names. Don't drop the first name, the middle name, the last name of that channel, please. I'm telling you, that woman is not credible. She is she's a fraud, okay? She will drag innocent people for clicks and views. As soon as she sees that she doesn't like somebody getting more, or she'll find a different angle. Yes, I can speak, but it is not good time for me. I'm on a medical appointment. Liz says that she could, and you would be speaking for Gerardo. I'm just making sure that that's what you're doing. Because otherwise, I mean, I have no problem bringing up Gerardo if he wants to come up. But yeah. Hey, Infamous, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people in the chat. Yeah, I just sent you. I didn't know if you had already seen it, and I know that you're not trying to tap into it, like on a video or live or anything, but because he was speaking in Spanish and he was talking about the translated person who was translating. It was delayed, so it was kind of confusing me. And he's talking about there was three different stories from three different people, and
I
that
remember that.
yeah, something about. So you've seen it, right?
Yes.
The one, okay, okay. I just wanted to double check, yeah, because I was like, yeah, I know you're bilingual, so I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know, yeah, so okay, all right. I was just checking in and just wanted to see, but I think it's just ridiculous how people just, I don't know, I don't understand it. It's infuriating for me. It's
It's a
frustrating.
money game. People need to
Yeah,
understand YouTube. Um, that's the risk of coming to YouTube. Sometimes if you're a victim of a crime or whatever, you come to YouTube and you're wanting to get your story out. Notice there's going to be somebody out there that is going to discredit you, and stuff like that. Is somebody saying, does anyone know what date he made this the arrest statement on? Yes, because I spoke to him and we talked about it in my channel. It was like a 5-minute live, and then it was released afterwards to everybody. He said that Dejanay had been detained, and so then people waited. That's when the bigger bloggers, Nick at Night, Sherelle's World, the lead attorney, what is her name? Tisha Tells, all these bloggers were going up, remember? And they were all over the place about this arrest. Was she arrested? There's nothing there. Sean Davy Way went live. Everybody went live to talk about it. And so what Liz is saying is, um, he has not redacted. And my thing is, well, in the most recent video that he released, and I saw that too, he said that he's talking in terms of like, what is it going to take for the Cabo Six to be held accountable. He's talking about them. There's been no arrests. There's been nothing. And so then, if that's the case, is he saying something different at this point?
yeah.
Have these people, has Dejanay been arrested? No.
Mm.
And there's people up here. We have to honor even those that are making comments. You just brought up a good point. He said that there's three different statements. I agree. There's probably three different
So where
statements.
they found her, yeah, something about where they found her. That there's
Yes.
one in the game room, one in the what is it, in the sitting area, or I'm not
Yes.
sure what it's called. Yeah,
The
there's three
death
different.
certificate, which is what we have here in front from the New York Post that was released, it even says on it. It says on it.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what does it say? Place where the injury occurred, residence. Okay. We have here this the time approximate between injury and death, 15 minutes. Severe spinal cord, stuff like this is,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
like it's not really giving of any information. Person found unconscious on her living room. But then
huh,
people are saying, well, she was found in the bathroom. So it's very likely that we have three different statements. I don't negate that. What I'm
yeah,
arguing with is go back to the initial alleged arrest. Has
yeah.
Dejanay been arrested? Yes or no? That is the question that people still want to know, even in the chat.
Yeah, because he's saying that the three different stories are, one is from the doctor or the nurse that tended to her. The one, she has a long last name. She has the really long last name, but her and what is it? I don't remember his name. One of her friends, her best friend, the one that did his little Instagram post or whatever, and then somebody else. So that's what he's saying on his video. So I don't know.
Right.
And then it just seems more confusing because it doesn't seem like it's translating well, and you know what I mean. The whole video itself just seems more confusing than anything.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And then Leslie says, Rabbit, what time is in on those so-called crime scene photos? The even the photos itself, they look like they're photos from like it's a video and then they took a picture, like a
Yeah,
screenshot or a
yeah.
picture of a photo. So it's a bit too blurry.
And it doesn't, and
Um,
it doesn't really look like they're actively like helping her. It just almost
no,
looks, almost, I don't want to, I'm not trying to throw anything out there, but it almost looks like it's a staged photo, like you said, like a screenshot or something. I don't know.
it looks like
But,
a screenshot. So
yeah,
I'm in the fence. I don't know what to believe at this point. Attorney Dimitri said something that a lot of, because I had asked him too. I said, could these photos, could the leaking of this information be an issue as far as bringing justice to Shanquella? And he said
right.
yes.
Yeah,
So whatever leaking stuff is counterproductive to bringing justice to Shanquella.
right.
Leaking it before actually bringing it to the FBI,
Those are
talking
selfish
to the
intentions.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that is counterproductive to the situation. The way I see it is if you ain't hiding shit, you ain't hiding shit. You do what you got to do. Hey, give it to the FBI, give it to the State Department and
yeah,
have them deal with it. And then if you decide to leak it, at least you gave it to them first. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But
right.
that is an obstruction.
Yeah.
That's like
And then how difficult the case is because it's Mexico and the United States, it makes it even more complicated.
right.
Yeah,
But that is like if I went into the Idaho 4, right? Let's say I went inside the house. I just
right.
happened to sneak in and took a picture of the crime scene and then decided to, I don't know,
Lisa.
leak it out here. Leak it out here so everybody can see it. Do you know that that is an obstruction? Not only just social media public opinion, but I'm obstructing the crime scene. I'm
Yeah.
obstructing justice for
And it would be
those
thrown
who are
out in court.
victims.
It'll get thrown out. All that stuff that has anything to do with that would get thrown out because of that.
Exactly.
Hmm. No, it makes sense.
I don't know.
It's just
I don't know.
frustrating. Yeah, I just did a I looked up like what victim blaming, and stuff because they're doing that with with the victim with DM and all that stuff. So I did like a narrated kind of just a quick little video of what victim blaming. It says United States is more likely people in the United States than other countries. We're more prone to victim blame. And it causes the victims to not want to come forward and not get help and not want to get any kind of therapy or be able to tell or anything because they're afraid of being getting accused of things, getting blamed for what they didn't do anything, they didn't do anything, so they're not going
Mhm.
to come forward, they're not going to get help, they're not going to want to talk about it, so it causes a lot of chain reaction of negative and not proactive things for the survivors, for the victims, for everybody.
Absolutely. And I
All right,
I
go
appreciate you
ahead.
for coming up. Liz says that she is back. Liz, the link is right there if you want to hit it. Um,
I
help
just
me
want to come up
understand.
and ask you a couple of questions. But all right, well, you take care and
All right.
thank you for your content.
Okay. No, I appreciate you, my love. Thank you. Liz says I may be able to come up in 10 minutes or so. All right. Well, I guess we'll be waiting here for you, Liz, if you're able to come up. Thank you. I looked it up for any update. It's not even the FBI even they even said the FBI has not closed the case, guys. They have not closed the case. Then you have, and that's the frustrating part for those that are actually kind of like, all right, how do we find justice? What do we need to do? Who do we need to, whether it's retweeting Nancy Grace or whatever? Like, yeah, it's frustrating. I'm thoroughly frustrated in so many ways because we don't have any updates, right? And then everything that we do have is just people spewing misinformation about things. It is very, very frustrating. If I were to type in Shanquella Robinson on YouTube, okay, just seeing the number of videos, it is crazy to me the number of videos that are out there that none of this um really does help. None of this helps. None of it. None of it helps. Now they're saying that the more proof death certificate is fake. I don't know. People just make up shit. People just make up shit. And a lot of people are just angry, and I do not blame them. I do not blame them. Oh Lord. I'm looking at the chat. Let me see. Liz, I'm gonna be waiting up here for you. You said you can come up in 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wait because I'm kind of curious to know your take on this, Robinson. Let me see what else. Latest news wise, nothing. Nothing. I don't know how accurate a lot of this information that people are putting up there. Hey Chico, how are you?
Hey, babe, you all right today?
I am good. You know what? I gotta mod you up because you're always so supportive. I know you got my back.
I
I was like, I gotta mod her up. That's it.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I just, I prefer to ask you, but now I'm telling you, I'm modding you. So, oh, you've been modded.
uh,
What up?
I'm really irritated with this case, and I get it, and I understand. The FBI is not going to tell us anything until the case is closed, so I understand that, you know. But all the misinformation that is being put out is not helping the case. It's not. It's not helping us get any closer to justice, and us coming up with all these wild ass theories. It's not helping at all. Like if it was facts, I can believe it. But what you have so many people on YouTube just putting out BS reports just for clout and views, and it's sad because we're really trying to get justice, and unfortunately we're just hindering it by coming up with these wild ass theories and with no facts to back it up, no proof to back it up, no receipts to back it up.
Absolutely. And then you have Fame. You got blocked by Brienne. Let me have you make some derogatory, negative comments about black folks partying in New Orleans, which is what the hell is it my business that people are partying in New Orleans? Isn't it a party state? Um, they, it's just Fame said send you a message on Facebook. All right, let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, I
But
appreciate that. Don't lump us all together. Please don't. Do not
don't
lump all black people together.
I mean, it's like, because people were, making derogatory terms and saying about Mexicans, like, oh, the Mexicans. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, that's not cool either, you know?
I know good people. Of course, if y'all can tell, I'm a mixed breed. I'm a mutt out here, and I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. I'm white,
Absolutely.
black, Indian. Proud. Yeah, I got Mexicans in my family as well. We have Muslims in my family. So, but making derogatory statements against one race, that doesn't help.
Absolutely. Okay, so Fame, shout out to Fame. So she did just message me, and I'm waiting for Liz. Liz says that she's checking out of the medical office soon, and she'll hit the link. So at least she can give us some perspective that maybe we don't know. Okay. Fame did apologize, guys. So Fame, you are not blocked. I see your comment. You're more than welcome. She says she's a proud black woman, and she's not a troll. That she's new to YouTube, and um she just has a different perspective, and I'm willing to consider that. So, Fame, you're welcome back, okay? I appreciate you. There was a very long message. I'm not going to read it all. Um,
And that's understandable.
yes, Brienne, go ahead and let's not block her. I know you just timed her out, but just a heads up, she was just timed out. Give me 1 second. No, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna make of this situation now moving forward. We don't have enough information, so but a lot of people are now defending the Cabo Six. How do you take that now?
They just need to face justice. They need to be in somebody's jail.
Mm,
All six of them. That's
all
that's
six of them.
I, all six of them. I don't. You sat there, you watched it, you recorded it. I'm sorry, I don't have any empathy or sympathy for any of them. I don't.
Mm,
I, you just need to go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, and that's where y'all need to stay. But I'm hoping that the FBI can prove that they had planned that here. Because if we can't get justice in Mexico, maybe we can get justice here. Like that question I asked Dimitri,
Yeah,
if we can prove it that they planned it in the United States, does that give us a leg to stand on to prosecute him here?
absolutely.
And
Hey, go ahead.
I
I'm sorry,
hope,
Chico.
no, I was just saying, I really hope they're able to prove that, but I guess time will tell and we'll see what the FBI comes up with.
Absolutely. I hear you. Hey, Liz, I see you. Um,
Hi, can you see my hand?
I can see your head. You could block your face, my love. I know you don't want to show your face, probably. I see your
Yes,
head.
I cannot show my face this
Uh-huh.
I'm in the United States, so I want to stay protected because
Absolutely.
this is a little bit too crazy going on now.
It is.
But my name is Lisa. I help Geraldo Zuniga, who is in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I speak English and Spanish. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I am authorized to answer some questions and others I cannot answer, but
Okay.
I am here.
So is Gerardo not speaking to? I mean, if I were to call, I have Gerardo's number. If I were to call him, would I have to go through you to speak to him?
Oh, he probably is going to send you to me.
Oh, okay. I guess that works. I don't have any. The biggest thing is, and I know that this is, he wants feedback. I know that, and I gave him this feedback before. The biggest thing is that there is misinformation that he needs to correct, and that I know would be helpful for him to correct. A lot of the people in my chat had said it before. I don't have anything against Mr. Gerardo. He knows it. I don't. It's just that he's been out here, between the arrests, because that's he said that she was detained by Interpol. Do we know that that is the case? And now when I hear him speak, he doesn't even speak that factually. So where are we at with that?
Well, I can let you know that he is not retracting about the
Okay.
information that he provided previously about DNA. He stand by that. Unfortunately, I don't know what is going on with the U.S. government and the Mexico government and why they keeping it so silent and private. But I know for a fact that he has confirmed his information more than once, and the information has continued to be valid. So I'm going to use a little line that Nasir said the other day when he was talking with someone. I think it was the name that you don't want to be mentioned. But he
Yes.
said this. He came up there and he told the truth, and you guys didn't believe him. So now you guys gonna have to wait until everything come out to the light because he is telling the truth. He has no reason whatsoever to create additional information. As you can notice, he is very busy with his life and with everything else that is going on in Mexico. So he's not trying to chase no cloud. He's not trying to add no misinformation. Unfortunately, there are details that they're hard to confirm by the U.S. and you guys, including myself, are going to have to wait until they are revealed. But right now, the FBI got a gap, a silent gap. And I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed that.
The information that Gerardo gave was that Dejanay had been detained and that she's actually in Mexico detained. That is what
No,
I was.
he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said that Dayanay Jackson has been detained in Connecticut and she is
Right.
waiting to be extradited. She
Right.
still remains a fugitive of Mexico
Uh-huh.
until she touched Mexican soil. He has
Okay.
never said that Dayanay is back in Mexico. If that would have been the case, we would have been moving a little bit ahead on the investigation because the testimony of DNA Jackson is very crucial to this case. And also, it is not only crucial, but it depends a lot on what she say in order for more charges to come down the pipe.
And I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is I had a one-to-one conversation with him outside of YouTube. And I'm telling you what I spoke with him about. And so then I'm hearing that she has been detained in Connecticut. That was the other side of the information. So there's been multiple things. So he's not taking that back. He still believes that Dejanay has been detained in somewhere in Connecticut.
Yes, yes.
So that's not something that he's taken back, correct?
No, he's not retracting from that information.
Why isn't he talking a little bit more about that with people?
Why isn't he talking about it a little bit more?
Yeah,
Because, like I said, you guys gonna choose to believe what you want to believe. You're gonna choose to attack him. So he just basically waited until the
I'm not
information break in the
attacking him.
United States. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody in general. This has been like attack on Geraldo from everybody who has been talking good and everybody who has been talking bad. So he just basically, it's nothing he can do other than what he is telling you guys to prove that this individual has been arrested until the U.S. reveal it. So he just waiting until that information is revealed on your side, and then we will take it from there. But it's no need for him to come and continue answering a question from which he's not retracting. He's believing in his sources, his confidential sources, and he had, like I said, verified this information more than once because I had been on his case trying to make sure, are you sure this information is correct? And he has verified it, and I am going to believe what he's saying, and we're just going to have to wait until the U.S. government or the FBI make a press conference concerning this matter.
If people believe, right, and I'm just playing hypothetical here. If we were to believe everything that Gerardo had put out there, that she has been detained, and she was detained back in November, December, based on the timeline that he gave, right? So you're
Hmm.
saying that she has been detained for a little over a month now?
He on the date that he mentioned, she was under a provisional was the word provisional. I don't want to use the word arrest. I want to use provisional detention, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's not the term.
Yeah. Because we were really,
It,
and it's not, Liz, I'm not attacking Gerardo. Trust me. Like I said, it's nothing. Now, if he doesn't want to talk to me anymore, that's absolutely fine. I have not contacted him. I think it was since the lead attorney interview, the secondary interview that he did, right? But we just have a lot of concerns. I'm not trying to attack the man. I'm trying to understand. I
and
truly
I
believe,
know you're not trying to attack him because if you were, I would not be on the line. I am nobody
right?
punching bag.
Yeah.
So
But
So my
people,
question is,
go ahead, Chico.
why, if he wants justice for Shanquella too, like why did he set up a YouTube and GoFundMe to collect money and all of this stuff? Like, what was the purpose of that?
okay, can you repeat your question because you're breaking up a little bit? I understand a little bit about justice and they go follow me, but can you repeat it
Okay,
again, please?
why did he create a YouTube account and then started asking for money? Basically, I know he covered and wanted justice for Shanquilla, but now it's starting to look like he's out there for money.
Okay, first of all, the idea of he creating a YouTube channel or accepting cash app donations or whatnot, that did not came from him. I did miss the very first beginning of down the rabbit hole interview, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But when he came to you and you did the interview, which I think was in Spanish,
Yes.
didn't you offer him to didn't you suggest it to him that he should get a kashab as well as the lead
Not in
attorney?
the interview. No, 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 no. What I had said, and then let's go back. My interview asked him, how can we support you in this situation? What can we do? And he never mentioned anything cash up or anything like that.
Exactly. He did not mention anything catchy. All
He
he
just
said
said he
was,
wanted let me finish, Liz. He just said he wanted people to visit his website, which is what we did. But
And that's
when he,
exactly what he answered.
okay, so when he went, let me finish. When he went back to lead attorney, that's when the tone changed for Gerardo. And lead attorney has been very vocal about this. So I initially thought that the interview was that, and that's kind of what we were.
No, well, actually, it was never on Geraldo ideas. He was pretty fine with just go to my website, like my newspaper. If it wasn't created with you, the idea was created with the lead attorney. But like I said, this was never Geraldo Zuniga. Oh, I need to do what you're doing. I need to charge for my or get money to.
Yeah.
That was never his intention, and it has never been his intention. Now, I'm going to say in his behalf, I know what he's doing back and forth to get details concerning this case in order to help shed some light. And it is not easy, just like everybody else, or probably you are not, because you are just blogging from probably your house or something. But I'm pretty sure that as any other person who worked out an office, you have gasoline expenses, you have mileage, hotels, you know what I mean? Because he don't live in Cabo. He live in Mexico, but he don't live in Cabo.
Right.
And that's where everything happens. So he also has to pay his confidential informants because just like TMC and other news stations that get information and they pay for the information to him, and it's costly. And he's really doing this out of the kindness of his heart because, to be honest with you, he don't really have to. I already told him, hey, since this is such a controversy in the U.S. and they are not appreciative of what you're doing, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
You got other cases that you can involve yourself with, and still be productive. But he keep telling me that there is a lot of people criticizing him, but there is twice and triple the amount of people who is saying thank you for your help. So he is choosing to focus on the good. As I already told him a long time, to hell with it.
Right.
But he's
No,
going to stick
you're
with
right.
the
There is a lot of criticism, but I think, Liz, honestly, with the criticism comes what can be learned from it, right? And so that's why when Chico asked the question about the monetary piece, and I'm glad you guys corrected that, because I had asked him, I said, how do we best support you? But back then he didn't have a Cash App or anything like that. And so then when he spoke with lead attorney, which is why I appreciate lead attorney correcting that, saying that, I suggested that he get this going. When I had a
and that is
conversation with,
correct.
yeah, so I want to make sure. My biggest thing though, Liz, and this is a question that I would have for him too, is, with those pictures, and of course people dissected the pictures and stuff like that. Why didn't when I spoke to attorney Dimitri, okay, who has done extraditions before, this situation could hinder justice for Shanquella if there is stuff that's being released and it's not necessarily being released to the appropriate authorities. Is he aware of that? Is Gerardo aware of that?
Well, Geraldo did turn in the pictures to the proper authority. By that I mean
After
he
the
turned it
fact.
to, say that again,
After,
he is a journalist. He is an investigative journalist. He is not the FBI. He is not a police. He's not a detective. He's not a fiscal. His job is to investigate the news. And that's
no,
what he
and
did. And
I'm
once
not saying that. I'm not saying that that's not his
um,
job, Liz, but he did it after the fact, right? He didn't
And
do
that's what
it.
I keep telling you. He is not an FBI agent. He is not a
Okay.
detective. He is not a prosecutor. His job is to investigate the news, and
Mhm.
he was responsible enough. Once he finished the news, he turned the proper evidence to the proper authority, and that is
Okay.
his job.
Okay.
He is not a
Is
private
he?
detective hired by the family. He is an investigative journalist who happened to have some leads in this news, and he's investigating it. And as evidence are coming up during his investigation, he has the right to put them out there like any other journalist, like Barbara Walter or Peter Jennings or Luis Cuomo would have done in the days, and just like Joe Bruno and everybody else is doing it. So why
Do
are
you
you
think they
guys
would have
on
leaked them?
him?
Do you think they would have
Say
leaked them
again?
before taking them
Oh,
to
come on,
the
please, my dear. We're in America. This is about rating. You think TMC would have turned them that
TMC is not,
information
but
first?
this is different though. This is a little, look at, I'm just saying this. I'm not a journalist. I'm a YouTuber,
Mhm.
right? But I will tell you what I am. I am a social worker and I went to grad school and I graduated, worked 10 years in government. And so I know a little bit about the justice system. And if I say I stand for justice, I am not going to F up a situation for to leak something out here without having, if this is her, without having the family have seen the information prior, or the FBI or anybody. Now the only reason why I'm coming at this tone is because you're kind of saying, well, oh, come on, this is TMZ and Cuomo. No, I'm not them. This it's neither here nor there. This is, if you're saying justice for Shanquella, say her name, and releasing balloons in front of the Cabo 6 thing, then let's stand by it, walk the walk and talk the talk. That's what I'm
Okay, so
saying.
can I ask you a question? And I'm not going to
Absolutely.
mention no name because I'm going to remain professional, but I'm just going to
Yes.
say there's other big YouTubers, and there
Yeah,
is
please don't mention
certain
names.
people.
Please, Liz.
I'm not going to mention name. I just say that I'm going to remain professional. But there's
Okay.
other big YouTubers, and there's also people from the media from North Carolina who was behind Geraldo Zuniga to obtain those pictures to break the news before he did. One of
Oh
them
my
did,
God.
and the other ones didn't. Got the
Uh-huh.
information before he was able to break it.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. You guys coming at him, but there's
I'm
other
not.
people. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking in general, my dear. People
Okay,
are
I
coming
got you.
at him, but you don't know what's behind the big picture. You don't know just like you have his number and you communicated with him, there's a lot of people communicating with him, trying to communicate with him. And that goes from the big medias in the United States, from the local medias in North Carolina, from the big YouTubers. So everybody
Right.
was after those pictures. And none
Right.
of them was trying to release it to the family first. None of them was trying to release it to the FBI first.
Right.
So I'm going
I,
to repeat what I say. He is not an FBI agent. He is not hired by the family as a private detective. He is an investigational journalist. And as
right.
he's doing his job, he's going to continue to do his job where it takes him.
But if
Some people are
it's a
going to be
hindrance,
grateful. Some people are
right,
going to be
Liz,
offended.
Liz, I hear what you're saying. I hear that he's not the FBI. I know that. I think a lot of us know that. But what I'm saying to you is that if this could be a hindrance to actually bringing justice to this woman, is it safe to do stuff like that before releasing it? Like, even if he's not
What do you
hired
mean
by, I'm not
saying?
hired by the family either. And I'm talking about justice for Shanquella. A lot of people aren't hired by the family. But what I'm saying is it safe? Is it safe to do something like that? If he has more information that the FBI could benefit from, or the family, why not just give it directly to the family and then say, all right, I dropped it in their inbox anonymously. Now I'm going to release it on YouTube. It makes a difference.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
it
Can
is
I?
easier for him to drop the information directly to the prosecutor and to the contact of FBI in Mexico and let
Mhm.
them do what they got to do through the proper channels.
Before dropping
He's
it on
doing
YouTube?
that. Say
Before
it
dropping it
again.
on
So,
YouTube.
can I ask a question real quick, Grab it?
Yes, Nanya, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. Hey, so here's my question. So I understand being the investigative journalist and not the police and all that kind of stuff. I understand that, or the FBI or whatever, right? So here's my thing though. So number one, there's no actual proof that he gave it to the FBI. He does a video where he walks in front of the building and records the building, but I can do that and never actually turn it in. So there's that for me personally. This is just my opinion. Then number two, my second question is why not go turn it into the police right now and then get home and do your live and share that same information? I've already turned it into the authorities, but I want to share it so that this doesn't get buried in the red tape of things. I think people should know this, but it was turned into the authorities first, because when you break the story first, right, it makes it look like you're not really on the up and up. So really what's important, what it makes it look like, in my opinion, is it's more important for you to break the story, than it is for you to help the investigation.
He's helping the investigation. He's a journalist. He's not going to make everybody happy. Either way, go ahead. If he would have turned in the information first, or he would have turned it in after, people were still going to be complaining.
Liz, but he clearly cares about what people think on YouTube, right?
No,
Because
he
otherwise,
really, at this point, to be honest with you, he really don't care what people think. He's just doing his job. He's just doing his job. If he would have really cared what people think, he would have quit a long time ago.
Okay, so I think that's where the disconnect may be, because he speaks on wanting justice for Shanquella and that is a priority for him. But I think maybe you could help him change his wording a little bit, because truly what it is his purpose is to break the story first, and his journalism and being known for that journalism, I think that is his priority, not actual justice for Shanquella. So maybe that's a suggestion that maybe you can take to him, because when you're presenting it of justice for her is what matters to me. Well, you can't say that and then say, but I don't care about justice for her at the same time.
This is the part that I don't understand. If it wasn't for Gerardo Zuniga, the case would have never been reopened in Mexico. He was the one who found the discrepancy between the police report and the death certificate
and the video.
And also, he was the one who brought the video to the Mexican authority. Is more to the story to what you guys got.
We're not disputing that.
And he's been on this case since then.
I don't think anybody is discounting the value that he has brought to the situation, but you can't actually say that nothing would have happened, because you don't know.
Well, it would definitely would not have been when it happened in November 16th, because even the embassy, even the State Department,
like, none of us can be certain that something would have never ever happened. But
okay,
that's possible. I'll give you
everybody is asking and complaining, why isn't the Cabo 6 has not been arrested? What is taking so long? So now you're telling me that you are perfectly fine, where probably it would not have been in November 16, but eventually it would have happened. So which one is it? Do you want it to be faster than what is happening now, or you don't?
Well, let's be honest, even the information that he has released has not secured an arrest.
Even the information that he has released is not securing an arrest?
That's correct. Unless there's something
information has he released
that I just haven't
what information
that I know of. Nobody has officially been arrested out of the Cabo 6.
Well, that's because we need the testimony of Dejanet. And someone from the Cabo 6 to probably volunteer and tell the truth of what is happening.
So if nobody has been if there's no arrest, there's no detainment.
Say that again.
If nobody has been arrested, okay, because I'm just going by what he's reporting. He said that currently there's no report, and you know, I I'm telling you, I don't know where to land. Liz, when you came into my comments and you said, "Well, now you don't believe him," I said, "No, no, no, ma'am. It's not that I don't believe everything. It's I feel like some of his inside sources are not necessarily correct, or maybe there's a
Mhm.
language barrier within the inside source. Although I speak and write, Spanish. We both do, so we can decipher that. But my biggest thing is how with there was a leak about subpoenas. Okay, he's not redacting Dejanay being detained or not detained by Interpol. I don't know. And now
Mhm.
there's no arrest or there is so it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we go back and forth, and we're sitting here, and here you have this family not even knowing everything that's going on. It, I would not be I wouldn't want to be in their place. You know what I'm saying? If Shanquella was a relative of mine, and then you have these pictures that leak. If that was my sister on the floor, I don't know how I would receive that, you know?
Can I ask you a question, my dear?
Yes.
Has the family have tried to reach out to Geraldo Zuniga?
What
Well,
I don't
to be
know.
honest, why would they? Why would they reach out to him at this point, right? I think any credibility that he would have had with them, I think he's kind of done away with it because just like you said, his
And
priority is to be a
are you speaking
journalist.
for the family?
What's
Are
that?
you a representative of the family, or that's your in
None of
your
us are.
opinion?
No, none of us
None of
are a
us are.
representative. I mean, honestly, he's not even a representative for the entire country of Mexico.
Thank you.
Mm,
He's
and
So
you're
not
none of us are a
though.
right.
Come on,
representative.
And you're
Liz.
We're all
right.
here just to give
And
opinions. That's it.
you are right. You are right. He's not the representative for the entire country of Mexico, but if if it was me and I am the family, and he is the only it only seems to be the direct source, whether it is truth or not, of this particular information, I would want to reach out and listen to what this person got to say and then decide whether or not he's telling the truth or not. But there has not been no contact. So, you know, what can I
Yeah,
say?
in my opinion, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to have contact with anyone who has shown that their priority isn't really my family member. This is just my opinion, but their priority is not
Okay.
my family member. Their priority
Okay.
is like getting
So
that
let,
story first.
so let me ask you a question. When he came for the first time to the down rabbit hole, and when
To
he
my
came for
channel,
the first time, am I saying your name right?
Down the Rabbit Hole News, my channel.
Okay, when I know it's you. And when he came on then to the lead attorney, and then he came to the other one in North Carolina that I'm not going to mention his name,
Yeah.
the what's the word? The YouTube channel was not up.
Mm-mm.
And at that point in
You,
time, I was listening to him. And not because he was on Rabbit's page, but because I know the level of integrity that Rabbit has, that she will vet information before she puts it out to anybody. And her priority truly is the making sure that all sides of that story are being told. So I would listen to him at that point based off of her integrity. But when he goes to his own page, I don't care about him starting a page, honestly. But when he goes to a page and he starts to leak information about the case that hasn't even been given to the authorities at that point in time through his sources, which I don't knock the sources at all, but you're giving it away. You're jeopardizing the case at this point for your own fame and glory and your name to be put out there. That's where I kind of he's losing his integrity for me, in my opinion.
okay, so there are rumors in the United States about everything that is going on with the PP loans and this and that, blah blah blah. Those are not rumors that are jeopardizing
Oh
the
yeah.
case.
Oh, we just said that. I don't like any of those people. Liz, hear me out. I don't like any of those
Hi, how
people
you
that have
doing?
been doing that. Not only is it PPP loans, they're doxing the family, they're giving misinformation, the sister, they're dragging everybody. I don't do any of that here. I don't know, Liz, if you've seen any of my videos. That's not what I'm sticking to what the situation is to bring justice. My thing is I really feel like this is taking a turn to a different area. And so why people come after Gerardo, and if he's willing to listen
The
to
same
the
to you, my
feedback.
dear. Thank you for your service.
Oh, what?
No,
Was that for
I'm
me?
sorry. I was talking to
Oh,
the
I was like,
mailman.
and if that's really for that's what I'm saying. Justice for Shanquella is justice for Shanquella. What all these other bloggers are doing, they're just dragging. I don't agree with the NC beat as well and his xenophobic comments towards my people. If he has an issue with Gerardo, that's his issue with Gerardo. It doesn't mean he has to drag every Mexican that is out there. But hey, who am I to tell him what to do? I just want to be very clear.
But
But
I just want you to be aware that the issue is coming because he's no longer willing to give out interviews to those particular channels because they was working with their own agenda.
Oh, and
And that's where,
for
I
me,
and
agree
I
that's
with
where
would
that.
they
disagree.
say it
I
again.
would disagree. My lack of willingness to watch him has been based off of what I've seen him do. It's not based off of who he won't go and interview with or who he won't interact with. It's based off of his actions alone. For me, not wanting to be a viewer in that case.
And what is your name, my dear? Who am I talking with? Because I know I'm talking with the other lady, but who are you? I didn't
My
get
name's
properly
Nunya.
introduced to you.
Yeah, they call me Nunya. I'm
No,
just a
no,
sub in the
okay.
page. That's it.
I just jumped in the conversation and I didn't know there was another person in the panel.
Yeah, you're
So I just
fine. No,
wanted to know who
because she
you
had
were.
great questions. But Liz, like I said, I don't, I just have a different view of this. I want you to be aware of that. And if that's feedback that you give him, because he's not going to be responding to us, even myself who interviewed him first, I'm a little surprised because I would have no problem. And I said this before, if he wanted to come up, and I don't think I need you, Liz, as the mediator, but at least him and myself, because I can speak, we can do it all in Spanish. We could talk a little bit about this and we can bring some of those questions so that because he's getting a lot of heat. Part of it is because of there's some misinformation. Some of his sources haven't always been accurate, but he did give us the police report that gave us the name of the people that we need to look at. I don't take that away from him. I don't take everything that he has done. My thing is justice for Shanquella is justice. Don't confuse that with I'm going to act like a investigative reporter first, because I think to a certain
He is
degree,
not confusing it. He's not confusing it.
but I don't think then that he's behind justice for Shanquella if he's moving the way that he is. You have to kind of measure that too. And that's the opinion that we have. It should be about Shanquella and no one else, right? And so I hear this is part of YouTube. Everybody gets attacked here. We all do, you know? At some point, but I don't agree with any misinformation that's been put out there about the family. And I've said it before, you know? That's my stance on that. I do appreciate you coming up here and giving some take. I have my opinion about it respectfully. And I still respect him as a person. I just don't agree with everything. How he moves, but he's not asking me for advice or nobody else. So he's going to do what he does.
I do understand.
Does that make sense? Is there anything else as far as on behalf of Gerardo that you would say?
I'd rather for
He's
you
not
guys to
redacting
ask me.
information, right?
I just rather for you guys to ask me questions, and if I can answer, I can, and if I cannot, I cannot. But I'm not going to volunteer any information that you guys
No,
can ask me for.
I don't blame you, but I think we stand against misinformation and stand against exploitation of victims, period. And a lot of it, I agree, Nadia, I couldn't agree more on that stance. And I mean, he's going to move the way that he wants to. I appreciate that you clarify that money thing, because no, I asked him how we could support him donation wise and stuff like that, but this was before he had a cash app or anything like that. And what he said
That's
was he
correct.
wanted people to go to his website, and that's where we directed people to. And then
And that is correct.
we'll go from there.
And that is correct.
Okay. Well, thank you, Liz, for coming up. I appreciate you. And, I mean, you got some balls, man. You came up. So shout out to you for
No,
coming up.
I mean, I stand by what is right. I want justice for
Yeah,
Shanquella. I do know that Geraldo Zuniga wants justice for Shanquella. It is hard to please everybody.
it
It's
is.
good, damn if you do it, damn if you don't. So it is what it is. But his own Concerning my advice, he's going to continue investigating the case, and wherever it leads, he's going to report. And some of you guys not going to like it, and some of you guys may like it, but hopefully at the end, it will bring what everybody wants, which is the Cabo Six to be arrested
And that is the big
and
thing,
charged.
and Liz, even though you say he doesn't care what people think, you're in here responding for him. So I do have a
I
feeling that
am
he cares
responding for
about it.
him because I want,
Right.
once in a while, I want to be able to let you guys know you are a little bit off of it or what you're thinking. And I did ask for permission to come up and speak because it's like I say, I am speaking for him, but I want to make sure, because I could be emotional, I could get happy, I could get angry, but this is not
Yeah.
about my emotion. This is not about me. This is it's about doing what is right for this young lady that passed away.
Yes. Yes.
And
I
if I
agree.
can help clarify some of the misinformation that is out there, he's not trying to make himself rich, no seeking the American own dollar because he only received pesos over there, and I'm like I may not be Mexican, but I'm still Latino, so I kind of get aggravated with the xenophobic remarks
Hmm.
towards him because he's my blood. Even though I am an African
Yeah, I
Caribbean
don't like it.
black woman, I am still Latino. And I
Yeah.
just felt like it was very abusive. And if it would have been on the regular media, like Joe Bruno or Nancy
No, it
Grace
wouldn't
or
have been
whatever,
allowed.
they would not,
Right.
that would not even be an issue. And then it's
Right.
like, he is their counterpart. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah.
notice in most of those programs, they don't even let the subscribers come up into the panel. He does. So that shows that he cares about the questions that you guys have and
Yes.
trying to get answers to the ones that you guys still need answers for. But I don't see nobody attacking Nancy Gray. Nancy Gray is not doing no investigation, but repeating everything that is already out there. But she's getting much more clout, like she's doing the big work. She's not doing the big work. Joe Bruno is. The other black guy from North Carolina is. Geraldo Zuniga is. So sometimes we got to put stuff into perspective and realize that, okay, the FBI is not telling us nothing, but at least we got three people out there who are working and on the books in the ground taking the risk. Because
Yeah.
Miss Joe Bruno and this other black journalist may not be in Mexico dealing with
Hmm.
all the craziness, but they can catch a bullet just by going to the wrong person's house because those people don't want to be caught. If they wanted to be caught, they would have been in custody a long time ago. They would have been
Right.
cooperated with the investigation. They would not have moved from here to there, disappear. So he also risking his life. But only the big places are the one like, okay, you guys giving the cloud like ABC News, Good Morning America, TNC. But what about the real people who are doing the work?
But the
Those
thing
are
is,
the ones that
so
I'm concerned about.
here's the thing, and I have you have to see the other side of this too. If Nancy Grace came out here and released a photo, okay, or if Nancy Grace came up here and said that Dejanay Jackson had been detained and then nothing else afterwards, and he's an investigative journalist. Nancy Grace is she does commentary and she was a prosecutor at some point. She would be
Yeah, I
probably
know who she
receiving 10
is.
times more heat over the stuff that she's saying too, no?
That's an answer for me. That's a
I
question
mean,
for
I'm
me.
just saying, like he's getting heat because of the information that he's releasing and the way in which the attack that he's doing. And you're absolutely right. He's probably people are not going to like what he does, and he's going to continue to do it. But I just want you to be aware. When we spoke to the attorney, to an attorney, he was very clear. He said this can be a hindrance to bringing justice to this woman. So then you kind of have to sit back and wonder, well, are you standing for justice for Shanquella or not? And then how he moves forward has to be very careful, if that makes sense, right? I'm not saying this
I
information is all
also
wrong.
I also going to bring this point so you guys also can look at this from a different perspective, and then I'm going to get off on this channel.
Okay.
When we're dealing with corruption in high places in government and the judicial system, I can appreciate that he actually released the picture to the public first before turning it in to anybody who can easily disappear evidence or say we never got it. You know what I mean? Because now the custodian of that evidence is not just the prosecutor or the legal justice system of a particular country, but it's everybody who is aware that that evidence exists.
Mhm.
Have you ever guys look at it from that way, from that perspective?
I'll ask. I mean, you guys hear chat? That question is open to everybody. I think we could look at this in different ways, you know? And it's unfortunate. I mean, that he has not redacted anything else or anything like he stands by what he is saying at this point as far as her Dejanay's detainment, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And he's not willing to speak, including my channel. He's not willing to speak on my channel anymore. I just want to make sure that that's
No, no,
that
it's not anymore. At this moment, he's busy doing his work, and right now, he's not going to be doing granting interviews. I'm not saying that
oh,
he's not going to do it again. I said at this particular moment, we are working in other areas that are more important right now and are time consuming
okay.
in order to try to shed some light more into this case about different stuff that you guys are not aware of. So right
Okay.
now, his time is very limited. In top of, he's running two different new studios in two different areas. So
Mhm.
right now, we're trying to prioritize his time. I didn't say that he will never come back into to do interviews. I am actually has been trying to scope where he can go that it's a safe place because, like I said, we are not going to bring Geraldo to anybody who's trying to demoralize him or attack him. That's not going to happen under my watch.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have any other questions for you. I guess thank you for hitting the link and clearing that. And I stand by what I said. I feel like not all of his information is accurate. However, it sounds like he's going to move the way in which he wants to, and that's all we can take from that at this point. Would you say that?
Okay,
Okay.
well, it's been a pleasure to speak with
Thank you,
you
Liz.
and with the other lady. No
Thank you,
problem.
Liz. All right. You have a
Okay,
good one.
thank
Okay.
you. And if you have any questions, there's a number that you could reach me at. You could get through
Okay.
Geraldo, and Geraldo will follow my number if you have any particular questions that you
So
want to
Geraldo
ask
will still
concerning
answer the phone
email.
if I call him. If I call him,
Yes, he
will he still answer
will.
the phone?
He
Okay, I just
will.
want to make sure because I thought you made it sound like you're the only gatekeeper of him, and I was like, well, damn,
No,
I
no,
spoke to the man.
he's probably gonna direct you immediately to me, but
Okay,
he will answer the phone.
all right. Thank you so much for coming up. Okay,
You're welcome and have a blessed afternoon.
you too. Bye. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was interesting. Um, what do you guys think in the chat? Lord have mercy. Look, I don't know. No man, Pam. Chico, Chico. You okay? Listen, I don't know what to say. Um, I stand by what I said. Now, you don't try. Look at you guys. You guys don't. Yeah. Um, I don't know. You guys are putting tomatoes on the chat. Y'all need to stop. All right, I gotta head out because you guys are doing too much on this chat. So we can't speak on his behalf or what the family may want, but she can, on the behalf of Gerardo, does, will, and has thought of doing. Girl, girl, I don't know, guys. Look, I'm still gonna. We will still see what happens here. We're still justice for Shanquella. I want to make sure that people understand here I'm not dying to run for an exclusive on this situation. This isn't about that. I think that at this point, justice for Shanquella should be something to the effect of you're standing 100% behind that, even though it means that you may not bring whatever up here. It's very important that we stand behind justice. I don't know what else to say. I have. Nanya says you got to stay away from my open panels. Listen, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I know I couldn't bring everybody up, and I know if I did, it would have gone really ham up in here. And we're not trying to do all that. But I appreciate everybody that made a comment. I'm going to have to head out here. But thank you so much for joining us. The thing is, this is we don't know what we don't know. A lot of it is hearsay. A lot of it is, if there's one thing I can agree with the lead attorney that he has said is you have to kind of the information's out there and you consume it as is. But as somebody who is went to grad school for social work, has a huge advocacy belt under her. Okay, I will tell you this: you can't say it's justice for Shanquella and do the opposite of it, and promote to be the opposite of it, because then, other than that, you're just leeching off of something that really is it justice for Shanquella or is it something else? I would ask that before information gets released, that you please take it to the family, or at least, even if the family doesn't receive it, take it and make an attempt to have the family review it first, okay? Or the FBI or those authorities. That's kind of where I stand on that. Um, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. But I gotta head out, guys, because I got baby bunny upstairs. I not everybody can be for justice. Everybody's a little bit different. You can't claim justice, but do anything and everything to prevent said justice. And when like I said, we brought in an expert here who has done an extradition before. You have to be very careful about what you release out here, because it can have a hindrance to the current and active investigation in that situation. You can't be for justice if you're a hindrance to justice. All right. And with that note, I'm out, guys. Have a great day.